I had mine done when I was 6 months old. My mum herself didn't have them until she was a child. She'd asked for them to be done. Her parents didn't let her to a certain age. And then she had the fear and anxiety of it. When she actually had one done, she had an asthma attack and ended up in hospital. So she did mine as a baby, and I've done the same to mine. I take away that fear and that anxiety for them, and literally they have it, it's probably 6 seconds of pain in total.
But what if they don't want it done?
Then they take them out. I mean, my 3-year-old now, she doesn't sometimes want to wear her earrings. Majority of the time she doesn't. She'll wear them to birthday parties and things like that. So we're happy to take them out, and she has them out, but now she has the option to wear them if she wants.
But when you see that video and that baby in America who obviously is in real distress and real pain for that sake, and it's not something that has to be done, it's just, I find it really difficult to watch, actually, but you know it's just something that's being done for beauty or a look or an image.
It's the same as children that have their ears pinned back. Some babies have outies and their parents get them taken off.
Well, those are sort of medical things.
Yeah, they're not really medical, they're about appearance, aren't they? If you have their ears pinned back, it's because of appearance. Are you saying that's also wrong? And we do live in a vain world. I mean, what's wrong with that anyhow?
But why can't your daughter decide she wants to have her ears pierced when she's old enough to choose?
Well, I have a niece who's 9. She had hers done on her 9th birthday. She fainted. She wanted them done. She did choose. And she fainted, and then they know what's coming. They know the fear. They know the pain that's coming.
But it's not something that's necessary, so why should they have something that causes pain and fear?
It's not necessary, but it's the same as having their ears pinned back. I mean, baby boys that are circumcised, they don't have the choice. That's pain.
But that's a religious thing, and if you're circumcised...
But it's still not medical, is it?
But, well, it is in some cases, and if you're circumcised at birth, it's a very minor operation. If you wait till you're older, it's a major operation. With ears piercing, it doesn't make any difference whether you're...
It's still very minor. It's very minor procedure that takes a couple of minutes. There's very few risks with it.
But it's unnecessary. It's just about... Your child is not an accessory.
Circumcision isn't necessary either. Neither is having a child's ears pinned back. It's all about appearance and look.
Hilary, can I ask you, because actually you went a step further, because regardless of whether it's a choice or an option, you said that actually you think it looks a bit naff and that you find yourself judging parents who will be pushing a child around if their child have got their ears pierced.
Yes, I mean, I just think your baby has... you know, my daughter, she's perfect. She's got perfect skin. She's absolutely, you know, flawless. Why put a hole in a child's ears and why cause them, you know, basically permanent damage, because those holes never close up. My grandmother, she had her ears pierced as a baby, and when, you know, her holes were still there when she didn't even know that she'd had it done, and when she went to have her ears pierced, the holes were still there, so it never actually closes up. So I just think it, yeah, I think it looks naff. I think it looks like you're turning your child into a fashion accessory.
There are some countries in Mexico, as soon as the baby's born, a girl, they will
culturally,
culturally, does that make it then different? Why is that any different? Isn't it not just a choice of the parents?
But it's still putting, making your child go through unnecessary pain just to look a certain way, just so your child looks like a fashion accessory. You know, why wait till they're old enough? You know, if a child is old enough and says, I'd like to have my ears pierced, and they understand what they're doing, and they understand it might hurt a little bit, and they understand that it might get infected and they have to look after it, but why do it to a little baby who has no choice?
I also can't sleep in studs. Because I always find when you lie down, the back digs in your ears. So if you're doing that to a baby...
The baby's ones are a lot shorter, and you can have little pillows
so is the space. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's relative, isn't it?
I mean, my 2-year-old now, she likes, if I take her earrings out for any particular reason to clean them or clean her ears, she wants them straight back in. So they obviously don't cause her any discomfort. Yeah. My 3-year-old personally doesn't, but...
You went further than disapproval. You said it's a form of child abuse.
Well, I think in a way it is, because the child has no ability to consent, and you're just imposing something that's unnecessary and that causes pain and possible infection on a defenceless baby. You know, you know, children have to have injections, and injections are important for their health. So, yes, it's horrible to watch your child having an injection because they get upset. Why do that to a baby just so they have a nice little...
I would say injections are worse because you're actually injecting metals and chemicals into the body, whereas this is just a tiny... It's a tiny... In some cases, I've done a lot of research on that as well, and that's not always the case.
That's not very different debate.
A tiny hole is not going to impact their lives. If they have a tiny hole in their ear and they want to take it out at a later date, that's hardly going to, you know, change their lives, and they'll be distraught about it.
Well, we asked you what you thought, so we had a massive response online. We had a poll, and our poll, the simple question: should baby ear piercing be banned? 76% said, or it's 77 now, said yes, and no. There you go, that's 23%. That's what you thought there.
Emma says, I'm a believer that you don't own your child and it's his or her body to decide if they want to put holes in them.
And Chrissy says piercing your baby's ears is for no reason than your own vanity.
Natalie says, I had my ears pierced when I was 1 and I can't even remember it. I recently got my daughter's done at 16th-month-old, but it doesn't make me a bad parent.
OK, well, thank you very much indeed for those. A massive response, one of our biggest ever online. Say again?
No, they do belong to us. It's like parents should have rights, and we're gradually losing more and more of them.
I totally disagree. Their children are...
Continue to talk
I gave birth to them.
during the break.
They're not your property.
Still
well, they are until they're old enough to make their own.
Stop now.
Ladies.
Stop now.
Thank you very much.